Chapter 2, Hawthorne General Store. The foreman sat on the track of the excavator, elbows on his knees, hard hat pushed back, staring at the ground like it was a problem he wished they hadn't uncovered. The crew stood a few paces back in a loose semicircle. No one talked. No one wanted to be the first to say what they all knew. There was not just one set of bones. There were many sets of bones. A long, shallow trench of them. Ribs, femurs, vertebrae, fragments of skull, placed in a way that was not random. The soil around them was darker, richer, layered in a way that spoke of time and intention. A few splintered boards lay half-rotted among the remains, the ghost of a coffin line. A carved stone fragment sat half-buried near the edge, its markings worn smooth by a century of weather. Someone whispered, barely audible, "These are graves." The air held that strange, reverent stillness that only appears when people know they've crossed into something sacred. Nathaniel Hawthorne's SUV crunched over the gravel. He exited his vehicle dressed in a dress shirt, suit vest, and hard hat with his sleeves rolled up. He walked towards the group with the brisk, irritated stride of a man already behind schedule. The men parted for him as he stepped forward to view the trench. It was not ambiguous. The bones were clearly human, not animal. Nate stopped for just a second, then he exhaled sharply, annoyed. "All right," he said. "What's the issue?" The foreman stood slowly, wiping his palms on his jeans. "They're human," he said. "And there's more than one. This is a burial ground." "Look," the foreman said. "This was not a single burial. These are rows of bodies aligned east to west with a deliberate spacing." He continued pointing out the rows as he spoke. Nate didn't crouch. He did not lean in. He did not acknowledge the gravity of it. "Old," he said. "This whole area's old. Could be settlers, could be anything." Foreman shook his head. "Settlers?" He nudged a carved stone fragment with his boot. "This is indigenous. Look at the alignment. Look at the soil layer. These people were placed here." Nate's jaw tightened, but he didn't look down. "We're not shutting down a six-figure job because some tribe buried their dead here 100 years ago." The foreman's face went still. "Nate, this isn't optional. I could lose my license. We have to call it in." "The law." Nate steps closer, lowering his voice. "You won't lose anything because nothing happened here." Gestured at the trench like it's debris. "Cover it." The foreman didn't move. "These are human remains," he said quietly. "We can't pretend they're not." Nate's voice stayed calm, almost gentle. "We can, and we will. I'm not losing a month of work over bones nobody's touched in a century." It was a long silence. The crew looked at the foreman. The foreman looked at Nate. And Nate looked at the burial ground like it was an inconvenience, not a violation. Finally, the foreman nodded once, resignation, not agreement, and signaled the operator. The backhoe driver climbed into the cab, but something caught his eye, a glint in the churned soil. He stepped down, crouched, brushed away dirt, a pocket watch, old, heavy, the kind of thing that belonged to someone important enough to be buried with it. He hesitated, but then he slipped it into his pocket. He climbed back into his machine. The engine coughed awake. The bucket swung. Earth fell. The bodies vanished under the soil. And in the quiet that followed, something in the land shifted, not loud, not visible, but unmistakably aware.